Welcome back to Newscentre. Let us now address the catastrophic floods that have gripped Pakistan. Last week, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif declared a national emergency due to widespread floods caused by incessant rains. The country's climate minister, Sherry Rahman, says one-third of the country is submerged in water. So far, over 1,000 people have lost their lives and more than 33 million have been impacted by these floods. That's 15% of the nation's population. Dreadful visuals show overflooding rivers and several provinces submerged underwater. The World Health Organization made a flash appeal of $160 million. The aid would be used to help 5.2 million affected people with food, water, sanitation, protection and medical support. Countries like Pakistan contribute a negligible amount to global warming and yet face the disastrous impact of climate change. Let me now go across to Hamid Mir, senior Pakistani journalist and columnist at the Washington Post. Mr. Mir, thank you very much for joining us. We believe that you have been traveling the length and breadth of Pakistan, reporting on the extent of the floods that have ravaged the country. How gravely has the Pakistan economy been hit? Already, there was a lot of economic stress that the country was going through. How does this make the situation worse now?
Thank you, Mr. Luthra. First of all, I must tell you that I warned the international community in July, about 2 months ago, and I wrote a column in Washington Post, and I said that the climate change is becoming a bigger threat to Pakistan than terrorism. But nobody listened to me, and now the evidence is everywhere in Pakistan. So I am traveling in the flood-affected areas since last 1 week, and I started covering it from the north of Pakistan in the mountain areas and the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. It is badly affected, and then I went to the Sindh province, which is the most affected area. About 80% of the province is underwater, and now I am in the southern Punjab. And two districts of southern Punjab, Rajanpur and Dera Ghazi Khan, they are completely destroyed. So it's a big part of the Balochistan province, which is on the border of South Punjab and Sindh, it is also affected. So actually, more than half of Pakistan is underwater, and there are many reasons. Yes, it is true that the Pakistani economy is suffering a lot. But you see, the India and Pakistan, whatever I warned 2 months back, I wrote that in the northern Pakistan, the Indian and Pakistan army is deployed on Siachen Glacier. And most of the glaciers in the Pakistani side, I don't know about the Indian side, but the presence of the armies on the Siachen Glacier is creating problems for the other glaciers. And I warned that the glaciers are starting melting very fast. And the other reason is the global warming. And the result of that, more than 30 lakes in northern Pakistan were exploded because they were overflowed by the melting waters, and they were exploded, and the destruction started in the northern Pakistan. And then that water came into the Indus River and the other rivers, and then the rains also started 1 month ago, and that's how more than half of Pakistan is underwater. So it's a big loss for the Pakistani economy. I have seen the agricultural lands totally destroyed. I have seen bridges destroyed. I have seen dams. More than 10 dams in the Balochistan province were destroyed due to the overflow of the water. So it is very difficult for me to explain it as a journalist, and I don't think that the Pakistani government have the capacity to reach all the affectees, and the Pakistani media have the capacity to cover the whole tragedy in coming 2-3 months.
All right. I'd also like to ask you, there has been a big debate over whether Pakistan should take assistance from India. There was talk about lifting the import restrictions, but there was also political furor over it. So what is your sense? Is there aid going to be sent from India? Is Pakistan going to lift some restrictions? Because now the international agencies have also sought the right of way through India to deliver aid to Pakistan.
Actually, I am in the flood-affected areas, and in most of the areas, the internet is not working. And luckily, I am in the southern Punjab area where internet facility is operational, and I'm not aware about this debate because I'm sending my feed to my channel through satellite. But as far as my WhatsApp is telling me, some of my friends from India are sending me messages, and I think that there are people in India who are very much concerned about this devastation in Pakistan. And I just came to know that Pakistan is going to take some tomatoes and onions from Iran and Afghanistan. So I don't know about the policy of the Pakistani government, but I think it's a natural disaster. And a few weeks back, I was reading stories about the destruction by floods in India also. So it's a natural disaster, and if Pakistan can help India and India can help Pakistan, actually we are all a part of the South Asia, and as far as my understanding is concerned, in coming few years, the whole of South Asia is going to face this climate crisis, including Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. So the South Asian countries should sit together, and they must develop a joint strategy how to tackle this climate crisis. Because I am told by some experts that next year, not only Pakistan, but India and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, they will also face these kind of natural disasters.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mir, for joining us. We're unfortunately running out of time, but thank you for giving us your view on the developing situation in Pakistan. Our thoughts and prayers with the families of those who have lost their lives, and we hope that Pakistani people can overcome this tragedy soon. Thank you once again for joining us. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of News Centre. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.